Today I'm at Memorial Park Cemetery in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Memorial Park Cemetery first opened in 1927 and is one of the state of Oklahoma's largest cemeteries. It is the final resting place of many of Oklahoma's most notable citizens, including Bob Wills, Oral Roberts, and Roy Clark. As we enter the cemetery from Memorial Drive, look to our left, we find the grave of one of Oklahoma's most beloved sports figures, Wayman Tisdale. Wayman was born on June 9, 1964 in Fort Worth, Texas. His family eventually moved to Tulsa, where his father was a well-known pastor of Tulsa's Friendship Church. Wayman attended the University of Oklahoma from 1982 to 1985, and each year he was named the Big 8 Conference Player of the Year. He won a gold medal as a member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic basketball team under coach Bobby Knight. The Indiana Pacers made Wayman the second overall pick in the 1985 NBA draft. During his 12-year NBA career, he played for the Pacers, Sacramento Kings, and Phoenix Suns, scoring 12,878 points and recording 5,117 rebounds. Following his NBA career, he retired to the Los Angeles area, where he pursued an interest in music. He once said his first love was music. In March 2007, he was diagnosed with cancer, which claimed his life on May 16, 2009. More than 4,000 people attended his funeral, which was held at the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa. He was 44 years old. As I said earlier, Memorial Park is a very large cemetery, and most of the graves are marked with flat markers, which makes it very difficult to find the graves that I'm looking for. That was the case with my next grave. I had the plot location that I got from Find a Grave, but I still ended up doing a lot of walking, and it took me almost 40 minutes to find the grave of comedian Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison was born December 8, 1953, and was the son of a Pentecostal preacher. Young Sam followed in his father's footsteps, attending Bible college and preaching fire and brimstone sermons from the age of 18 to about the age of 24. Following a divorce, he gave up preaching and took to another stage, the comedy stage. He began performing a stand-up comedy routine various comedy clubs throughout the state of Texas. His big break came in 1984 when he performed on Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedian special. He was an instant hit and soon began appearing on a number of late-night TV shows, including Late Night with David Letterman. He continued performing his stand-up routine while taking part in several movies, including Back to School and The Three Amigos, and he was a very popular guest on the late-night TV show Saturday Night Live. Throughout his comedy career, Sam battled drugs and alcohol, but in the months prior to his death, it appeared he'd turned his life around. On April the 10th, 1992, while traveling to a sold-out show near Las Vegas, Sam was struck by a drunk driver on US 95 near Needles, California, died from his injuries. His body was returned to Tulsa, where he was laid to rest here, next to his parents and other family members. Sam Kinison was 38 years old. From Sam Kinison's grave, I made my way toward the back of the cemetery to section 45, which is known as the Garden of Devotion. This section has all flat markers, but I had the correct GPS coordinates that I got from Find the Grave and was able to easily find the grave of Oral Roberts. Granville Oral Roberts was born on January the 24th, 1918 in Ada, Oklahoma. The son of a preacher, Oral followed in his father's footsteps, becoming a traveling tent evangelist and faith healer. In the late 1940s, Roberts founded the Oral Roberts Evangelistic Association and continued to conduct evangelistic and faith healing crusades across the United States and around the world. He founded Oral Roberts University here in Tulsa in 1963, which features the ornate and unique prayer tower, which opened in 1967 and stands at the center of the campus. With the coming of television, Roberts became one of the early and most successful television evangelists, using the new medium to raise millions of dollars. Television came controversy, as Roberts and his family came under scrutiny for their lavish lifestyle, which featured high-dollar luxury cars and vacation homes in Palm Springs and Beverly Hills. With the intense scrutiny, fundraising suffered, and a number of the ministry's businesses and organizations were forced to close. But Oral Roberts University has survived and continues to operate as a private Christian-based university. Roberts retired to his home in Newport, California, but continued to be involved in the university affairs right up until his death. Oral Roberts died at the age of 91 on December 15, 2009 at his home in Newport, California. His body was returned to Tulsa, where he was laid to rest here, next to his wife Evelyn. As I said earlier, Memorial Park is a very large and well-manicured cemetery. It has a large number of unusual monuments and memorials, like this one that sits on the banks of a large lake. The monument and lake were landmarks that I was looking for that helped me find my next couple of graves. Located next to the lake is the grave of one of the most gifted musicians of the 20th century. Just a short walk along this path, in a private estate, we find the grave of Leon Russell. Leon Russell was born in Lawton, Oklahoma, on April 2nd, 1942. He began playing the piano at the age of 4 and performing in nightclubs in the Tulsa area while still in high school. After graduating from high school, he moved to Los Angeles and soon became a popular session musician, songwriter, and recording artist. His career spanned more than 50 years, during which time he earned 6 gold records and received 7 Grammy nominations, winning the award twice. In 2011, he was inducted into both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the National Songwriters Hall of Fame. Late in his career, Leon suffered from a number of heart problems, which eventually led to his death. Leon Russell died in his sleep on November 13th, 2016, at his home in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. He was 75 years old. Just around the corner from Leon Russell is the still unmarked grave of country music star Roy Clark. Roy Clark was a versatile musician who could play the fiddle, guitar, and banjo, and is best known as the host of the popular TV show Hee Haw. He became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 1987 and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2009. Roy died on November 15, 2018, and when I visited here in March of 2019, his grave was still unmarked. But since my visit, a monument and marker have been installed. Thanks to Find the Grave contributor Ronnie Feltz, we have this photo. While I was here at Roy Clark's grave, the wind picked up, and off in the distance, thunder and lightning and rain was fast approaching. So I cut my visit short. Hurried over to my last stop here at Memorial Park Cemetery. With a storm bearing down, I hope the GPS coordinates that I have are correct. I make my way just across the road from Roy Clark and Leon Russell. I find the final resting place of the man who was known as the King of Western Swing, the great Bob Wills. James Robert Wills was born near Turkey, Texas on March 6, 1905. At an early age, Bob learned to play the fiddle and soon joined his brothers and sisters playing for barn dances throughout West Texas. As a young adult, Bob continued to play at local dances and clubs throughout Texas. In 1934, Bob headed to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and formed a band that he called the Texas Playboys. The rest, as they say, is history. Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys are credited with creating a brand of music known as Western Swing, with songs like San Antonio Rose, Faded Love, and Take Me Back to Tulsa. The Texas Playboys and Bob played their way all the way to the Country Music Hall of Fame. In the 1960s, Bob began to suffer health problems. He suffered 2 heart attacks, which eventually forced him to dissolve the band. In 1969, just about a year after he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bob's traveling career came to an end when he suffered a major stroke. But in 1973, the King of Western Swing felt like he could participate in a Texas Playboy reunion. The 2-day event featured a recording session that would produce the album for the last time. But before the session could be completed, Bob suffered a second major stroke and lingered in a coma for the better part of a year and a half. Bob Wills died on May 13, 1975. Resting next to Bob is his younger brother, Billy Jack, who was also a member of the Texas Playboys. After the Texas Playboys disbanded, Billy Jack continued to perform with a number of bands, but none ever reached the popularity of the Playboys. Billy Jack Wills died on March 2, 1991, at the age of 65. This is where I'm going to end this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to keep up with my adventures, hit the bell and subscribe. Now as the rain begins to fall, I'm heading off down the road for my next tombstone adventure.